Hello, everyone. Welcome to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined tonight by Wookie Monster, and here we are in picks and bans of our featured match for this evening. Shining Light White Knights is taking on Wolfpack Caldera. These two folks are ready to duke it out here. We have a lot of interesting picks, and these are some high tier players. This is going to be an awesome time to, if you are maybe one of our lower tier players, maybe you want to like learn from what you see here today, but it's sure to be a banger. Wookie Monster, are you ready?
I am definitely ready, and we're already seeing a lot of spicy bans here. Some targeted bans, as we do have a Bard ban on the Wolfpack. Getting that right off the bat is, what you want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are super meta bans right here, but a lot of them are targeted. Caitlyn, Maokai, Aatrox, Hecarim, Graves. These are a lot of junglers that are insane. These are a lot of characters that are very powerful. The Bard specifically is more targeted towards
Yep.
the Bardo support, the support player for Wolfpack Caldera here. He plays a whole lot of Bard, but not a whole lot of other things. So let's see if he's able to come up to the challenge here with that targeted ban.
Yep, first pick is going to be Gragas of all things. I think that's a great flex pick, especially picked first. You could flex it mid, you could go jungle, you could go top. I haven't really seen a lot of Gragas play recently, in pro play anywhere really. I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of flexibility in that pick though, because you have a bit of options.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Gragas has been played in a bunch of different positions over his in his I think every single role. I'm fairly certain except for like AD. I think
Yeah.
Gragas has played nearly everything. Support, top, mid, jungle. Like we've seen a whole lot from Gragas here. Although this might be going over to let me see real quick. That might be going over to the top laner perhaps. Not quite sure. But this is definitely looking it's definitely looking pretty good so far, if you ask me.
Yeah, it could go a number of positions. I mean, we definitely don't know quite yet, as the Trundle is being locked in as well. But I would take a look at the other side. They have picked Yubi, the bane of all of our existences. Banned so many
Yep.
times in pro play. I think that letting a Yumi go through, you have to kind of expect like, hey, like we gotta prepare for one, evasive little cat to get under our skin.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and also it's paired with a set as well. I mean, you might as well have this might as well be Garen Yumi part 2, right? Like
Right.
having a bruiser with already some decent self-healing and good defensives going up being paired with a Yumi who can give them the movement speed to stick to their targets and more healing on top of what they already do. Like it's insane what set will be able to do come this mid and late game with this Yumi attached to them as well. So it's going to be interesting to see as we do see the counter to it in quotes the Leona being locked in by Shining Light here.
Yeah, and then as a response, this is going to be the very safe lane of Ezreal Yumi. So looking forward to that. They're going to go ahead and ban Misfortune. I think that's a great pickup with Leona. So I'm glad that that was banned. Also a meta pick. And we kind of see, yeah, we start to see a lot of these meta picks being banned away. There's a lot of tanks on the side of the White Knights. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to see. Like, Set is really good as an anti-tank measure. I wonder what else they can pull out to counter all these tanks. Syndra being a burst mage could put a dent in the Wolfpack's plans. Anything, because they still have a mid laner to pick, they still have an ADC to pick, and they're gonna go ahead and ban the Kai'Sa. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Kai'Sa is a really good pairing with the Leona as well. But we only have a limited number of bans. There's so many champions that
Yeah.
could go into this. But I do start to see kind of the compositions develop a little bit more. So like you have Ezreal, Yumi might want to opt in for maybe Divine Sunder. I know Triforce has also been a popular like route to go. But yeah, they're gonna go ahead and ban the Echo. So they're
Mm-hmm.
targeting the jungle here, and or the mid lane. I'm not sure if the mid laner of the Wolfpack plays a lot of Echo. I do see a little bit of Echo in their OPGG. Not as of recent though. It's been more tankier kind of mid laners or
Mm-hmm.
utility mid laners. So I wonder what they're gonna go there. They are picking the Lilia though.
Yeah, Lilia, I think, is another great pick to go with the Yumi as well. This is another character that benefits really, really well from having that additional movement speed and the healing as well. Lilia doesn't really have a whole lot of innate healing, so just having that Yumi with them to just give them movement speed to dash in and out of fights is going to be really, really hard to track down this deer in these team fights here. But we have Loki Dosi hovering the Draven here, and they're going to
Ooh,
lock it in. Draven is a very, very powerful champion, but the problem is he's very binary, should I say. And usually when we say
right.
binary, it's usually like when a champion goes in, it's very hard for them to get out, so they're committed. But when it comes to Draven, when he's up, he's up. He's riding high. He's doing really, really good. He's cashed in his passive a bunch of times. He's gotten a bunch of gold, and he is destroying the enemy team. Right? He scales the hardest off of items out of any of the other AD carries in the game, in
Right.
my opinion.
Yeah, I
But when
definitely
he's
agree.
down, he's down.
Oh
Man, it
yeah.
just is not. It's not even the same Draven anymore.
Yeah, it's just having another caster, cannon, minion, whatever you wanna, whatever
Yeah.
minion you wanna call it is just on your team. But yeah, that's why we're kind of looking at like how strong the bot lane duo needs to be for this matchup, because you're playing against a really safe lane is Ezreal Yumi, and they have to
Yeah.
really play aggressive. They have to play with their jungler, who it looks like it's going to be the Trundle. It could be the Gragas. Not really sure. They could switch those interchangeably. So, but the last pick is going to be the Azir here. They have a really great team fighting composition on the side of Wolfpack, Caldera. So this is a spicy matchup. I think that the Ari also is gonna probably put a dent. So you're gonna look at the robes coming in from Ari, the 2v2s in the jungles with Ari. I think that's gonna be great to get this Draven ahead, like you were saying, and to get those cash in bounties that he really wants to get early on, especially depending on the route of itemization that he goes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's really important to get this Draven ahead. And I think what's really good is that Draven is actually very good into Ezreal because of how just innately squishy he is. So, early on, in these first couple of levels, Draven is going to be super, super strong in these levels. Like level 1 is going to be insane, right? The
Oh yeah,
level 1 damage he's going to be able to do with Leona is going to be insane. But I think you already said it. Yumi and Ezreal is such a safe lane. It's so safe. It's so hard to like really lock down Ezreal to begin with, and then being able to give him movement speed on top of that too. It's going to be just really, really hard for this Leona, even though she has so much CC, to really get on top of to really get on top of Ezreal and be able to be supported by the Draven as well.
correct. And I also think, like, I'm just thinking ahead here because, okay, so you have a Gragas, you have a Trundle. Which one do you really want to help put in the work for that bottom lane? It looks like they're going to already just pick away the Gragas for the top side of the map. I think Trundle is pretty good at diving. That pillar is going to do a lot. But that's where, like, the push from Draven and Leona, they're going to want to hit level 2 first. They're going to want to maybe do a dive with Trundle. I mean, he doesn't get very tanky very early on, but once he hits level 6, it's going to be, you're going to have to expect that on the side of Yumi Ezreal, right? You're going to have to expect that,
Yeah.
hey, they're pushing so much, we need to just back off because there might be a Trundle nearby.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing I wanted to talk about with Trundle is that, man, do I hate Trundles being picked early on in the draft. I'm a big person of like, if you want to lock in Trundle, you need to wait like a little bit to see what the enemy pick, because Trundle in my eyes is always a counter pick, right? He's good
Right.
into characters that don't have a lot of mobility options, and he's good into characters that are super tanks. We take a look
Yep.
at the other side. We see 2 dashes, a tether, right? You're almost and never gonna see Yumi by herself, right? And then we have Lilia and Set, who are the only 2 people with these kinds of like low mobility, and then Trundle will be able to fight them 1v1. But it seems like Trundle is really only going to be good at dueling Set, who you can really chomp to take away that attack speed with the Q, right? Or attack damage rather. I wonder like how effective he is going to be against the Lilia is really
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah, it also really depends. I mean, pathing could be another topic we talk about here because okay, maybe they're not actually wanting to pressure this bot side. Maybe they're really wanting to just pressure top side, like you said. Set
Hmm.
Lilia, not as much mobility as the Azir as the Ezreal. So maybe Trundle will want to go top and kind of make sure that Set does not get ahead. Because on the other side, I mean, Set when he gets ahead, he's a monster, right? He's kind of like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that guy a little bit later on, or we can just cut him out early with assistance from the Gragas, maybe even assistance from the Ari. I'm expecting a lot of roams coming in for the White Knights this time around.
Yeah, I think the good thing about the Trundle lock in for White Knights here is that Trundle doesn't really do full clears first. Like he struggles kind of early on, excuse me, with the multiple packs, right? With
Yeah,
a little bit with wolves, more so with chickens, right? He usually will go blue, gromp, red, and then gank if he's level 2 or level 3. And then that usually means that like we'll see Trundle sooner than we'll see Lilia, just because Lilia has a much better time like fighting a lot of these multi-targeted camps. Sometimes Lilia will go through for full clears here, so we'll have to see. I think the Lilia is an interesting pick, but if they are looking for really early leads with the Trundle does help enable that.
yeah, I definitely agree. So here's the question. I think for me, I think that they both have really good team comps. I think there's a lot of utility. There's a lot of CC. There's a lot of team fighting on both of these teams. So I think honestly though, I think that the Wolfpack have a little bit of more of an edge because, like we said, if Draven doesn't get ahead, it's going to be a problem later in the game. They don't really have a lot of damage other than Ari and Draven, so that's already one person you could be like, okay, let's just wait till late game and scale up
Yeah.
with the Ezreal, with the Azir, and with the Lilia. So I think I gotta have to give it to Wolfpack. But what is your thoughts on who's gonna take this match?
Ooh, I mean, I think I want to give it to White Knights. I think I want to give it to White
Okay,
Knights. I like this composition a whole lot because they have a much more solid initiation tool between Leona, Ari, and even Gragas, and they're very good at kind of separating the enemy team away in order to give Draven this kind of like these mini 1v1 scenarios in these team fights, right? Like and being able to really
yep,
enable Draven in these team fights is going to be really important. Like we said, want to get those kills, want to get those passive stacks, right? And this team is come even the mid game will have like um really good ways of enabling Draven, even if Loki Dosi's early game isn't like spectacular.
right. But yeah, that is fair. I think there's a lot of skirmishes to be had, a lot of 2v2s and 5v5s as well. So this is gonna be a full game.
Yeah, for sure. So we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the rift of game number 1 of Shining Light White Knights up against Wolfpack Caldera. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by Wookie Monster, and here we are on the Rift of game number 1 of Shining Light White Knights on the blue side versus Wulf Pack Caldera on the red. We have a 5-point start to get this game underway. Both these teams kind of doing a little bit of a do-si-do along the line of scrimmage, but here we are ready to get this game underway. Wookie, are you ready?
I am ready, and standard 5-point start. I think from both teams, they just want to take it easy. But we do start out with a Cloud Drake. That is good. I want to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I would love to see either a Mountain Soul or Infernal Soul. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think the funniest stat point I've heard from a fellow caster was the Cloud Drake is the best individual Drake because it means that you don't have Cloud Soul.
That is actually hilarious. Oh my gosh. But yeah, just things to notice. We do have the same side start for both junglers, but it looks like Lilia is actually just taking the Raptors right now with the Krugs. Go into red, then go to Krugs. Probably going to do something like that, or either wrap around for a gank, maybe on the top side of the map. Looks like Trundle did take the blue and then go to Garam. Might look for some level 2 skirmishes here right off the bat, or contest for the Scuttle on the opposite side of the map. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Looking forward to the
either way-
aggression here, too.
Yeah, either way, I think both these junglers are going to be pathing towards the bottom half of the map here. So we'll keep an eye on this bot lane right here because that's where we're probably gonna see our big fight
Yep,
here.
level 2. Let's see it, because looks like Loki, Dosi, and Phoenix Main are going to hit the level 2.
Yeah, Packsack and Bardo support definitely see that coming, so they're not gonna be caught unawares this time round.
Yeah, they definitely have to play a little bit safe, right? Because like that's the name of the game for this bot side. Unless Lilia comes, you're not really doing too much.
Yeah.
Ooh, good trades.
Yeah, and that's gonna, like you said, name of the game, right? It not only is it because you drafted such a safe lane, but also because Draven and Leona just does so much damage.
Yep. Definitely. We're gonna actually see the junglers be kind of duking it out over there as we're looking at the top side of the map. I feel like there's something going on. There it is.
Yeah, let's see if we are contesting the blue buff here. That's a good Zenith Blade onto Lilia here. She's actually taken really low. This might try to keep them alive, but it's not going to come through this time. It's now they're looking for Packsack now, flashing over to the other side of the pillar. Bardo support is looking real low. I don't think he can tether just quite yet, and Loki Dosi is going to be the one picking up the kill there.
Ooh.
As now, number 2 Ginger fighting cool along in this little corridor here, trying to get away, but here comes Packsack trying to re-enter, but you move just a little too far! Draven picks up that kill. Loki Dosi goes 2-0-1.
Okay, I don't know if it was caster curse, but we said they would play safe, and then unfortunately they were caught in their own jungle. I think that early invade from Trundle was really smart play. They had the tracking down really good because it was planned. It definitely looked like it was planned. They were like, okay, we're definitely gonna get priority on the bottom side of the map, and then hey, just come with me and see where Lily is at. She ended up being there, did not start blue buff, so they had to know that Lilia was there, and they took advantage of that.
Yeah, I think a ward was placed around the wraiths at the beginning there. I think there was a blue ward like right in the wraith pit itself. So
gotcha.
I think they had eyes on where Lilia had started, but now they're coming back for another gank here. Coach Mike not wasting any more time on a Packsack here, already dealing a decent chunk of damage, but ETA and the Ezreal is going to keep them away for just a little bit as Phoenix Main comes up just a little too late.
Yeah, so this is, already a great start for the Draven. Serrated Dirk and Sheen, those auto attacks are going to hurt with the Q empowered as well. So they have really good chances to get this first dragon coming up. But it looks like Lily's on the top side of the map.
Ooh, wait a minute. Hex Flash onto Packsack here. Force the cleanse. Still looking for more damage because they have already done so much. Lily onto the top side here onto better genetics. Loki Dosi's on a killing spree down here. Now looking for the cat to good to a free home in hell. That's going to be a double kill for the Draven here as they pick up a kill onto better genetics up in the top lane as well. For 2 Ginger here, looking for some damage on the cool, but it looks like just a bit of a scuffle back and forth.
So that was really great awareness from Gon Link here, who I'm gonna clear out this ward here. Ginger will know. But yeah, because bottom side kind of looking a little doomed so far. Gotta have to create some leads, and did get a kill for the Lilia, so that's gonna help out at least with getting these mid game advantages going here for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is looking pretty good right now as a start for the blue team. Like we said, when Draven's up, he's
Oh
up.
no.
And he's definitely up right now as Lilia's in a whole lot of trouble. I think she's going 6 feet under. Lol, Coach Mike is going to be the one picking up the kill in the jungle there.
Yeah, I think we didn't have eyes on the Gragas, so whenever that your top laner's got to be pinging you, man, like, hey, we don't have eyes. I don't know where Gragas is, and you just end up failing the invade there. It's not looking good for the side of the Wolfpack Calderas.
Ooh. X-Flash over the wall. Zenith Blade's going to follow the arcane shift here. Oh my god! Packsack eliminated! Bardo support has to retreat all the way back to the tower. Oh my god, that was like 2 auto attacks.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So far ahead. It doesn't end there.
Link's now in some trouble here. So that's oh, Hex Flash over the wall. Zenith Blade's not going to land, but don't need it. That's a good stun. Trying to heal up off of Smite there as they get away, forcing the flash as well. This might be the go button they need to go get that Drake.
Yeah, this is this is a really rough start for the Wolfpacks. They're not playing towards their strengths, right? We talked about this during draft that a lot of them have to play safe. We can't afford to invade quite yet, and that has cost them. And looking out for the invades as well has really cost them a lot. Good wardage will, get you some places here, but it looks like White Knights are really great lead. They have a really great lead on the Draven. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, this is already. I have to shout out Phoenix Main because I don't think I've seen anyone use Hex Flash better than Phoenix Main. So Phoenix Main Hex Flash champion, honestly, like it's insane how well he's been using Hex Flash.
Feels pretty good. Ooh.
Yeah, explosive cast being used in the top lane here in order to try to get away.
That's an interesting interaction.
Successful. Yeah, the face breaker and the explosive cast at the same time. Yeah.
But yeah, we got to talk about how does one just slow the game down from this point. I think keeping track of where this Trundle is going, because I feel like Coach Mike has set up a lot for his team so far, and whenever something is happening, I mean he's got pretty decent KP right now. But yeah, he's been setting up for the team. They've already done a lane swap here too, which I think is really smart. We do see the Gragas struggling just a little bit, but as well, Packsack and Bardo support not doing too well themselves, so it's a really great lane swap. Oh wait,
Zakutara, that's going to be the showstopper to bring Loki Dosi underneath the turret, and that might be the damage that they need in order to find the shutdown onto the Draven. Zakutara coming out huge here.
Ooh.
I was going to say this is a really good position for the Ezreal here, but it looks like it's also pretty good for the set as well.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be that one I just chalk it up to Caster Curse. I thought they were gonna at least stray away from getting too close to that set, but he actually did the full wombo combo and ended up with a kill, with a good shutdown for himself.
Yeah, I think this kind of highlights the show that set is kind of good into some of these ranged matchups, like especially if they're very low range. He's able to abuse that because you're still within the well, just as I say it, you caster curse once, and then I guess I caster curse the other one. Zakutara gets 3v1 up in the top lane there and goes down, so they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Is Better Genetics here trying to get some damage on the Packsack and maybe threaten them off the turret even a little bit.
Yeah, just have to notice that, like I said, Coach Mike doing a lot for his team, right? He saw that they were in trouble. They gave over a kill to the set. They will get a massive wave. And oh wait,
whoa! Better Genetics from out of nowhere gets the full burst combo into Ezreal now. Bardo support in some trouble. Body slam. There's the barrel roll.
Wow.
Double kill for Gragas. Godlink has shown up here. Let's see if they're able to do anything. Better Genetics doesn't really have a whole lot left in the tank, but this damage is still so incredibly good. All they need to do is just a couple hits, and Godlink has already taken so much.
Yeah, and that's a tower on the top side of the map. So, Godlink, there's a turret up there that's being sieged.
Yeah, Loki Dosi is in some trouble now. Has already taken a decent chunk of damage here. That's going to be the turret coming down, the tower coming down onto Dr. Tara here. The roll comes out, going to be able to secure that kill for Draven now. Cool has to back away because look at how much damage this Draven does. Holy moly, they can't even approach.
Yeah, first item, Essence Reaver, doing so much damage. The only completed item so far in the game, so you're gonna have to bring a little bit more than cool and... Oh, what?
Well, yeah, number 2 Ginger
Oh,
might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew, but that Ignite is ticking real
almost.
quick there. Packsack is taken pretty low there.
Yeah, Ari's starting to do damage. Hasn't had any kills, no assists, nothing like that, but Ari definitely don't want to get charmed by her.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
As now we're working to see if we can get a little bit more. I think the biggest thing that came out of that push top lane that, besides just, the Shelly charges, was they were able to get a bunch of turrets, a bunch of plates on the mid lane as well, and was able to give some more time for Gragas to kind of free farm here. We now see, like, if we take a look at the 2 top laners, Gragas is now ahead by 7 CS and also a kill as well. So
Yeah, the
finally,
gold
after
is...
that kind of like bad time, we
Yeah,
see better
definitely.
genetics coming into it.
Definitely, and I mean that's why I say that the lane swap was pretty good. He did manage to outplay Packsack, not having the best of games, but I definitely think that's where you have to bring in more members, right? Because they're just slowly whittling down now.
Yeah, better genetics might actually be in some trouble here. Drowsy asleep, but the explosive cast is going to give them some distance. That's going to be the Yumi ultimate coming across here, taking incredibly low. That's a good charm, but it's not going to save them from the Ezreal here. Exhaust coming down to the number 2 Gingers. They're backing away. That's a good kill for the red team here, but even though it took them 3 people to do that, look at what they're losing in response.
Yeah. I don't even think they can contest towers anymore, though, so they have to try for these risky plays of let's 3v1 somebody and at least get something in our pockets, because I mean, even defending against the siege, they don't really have a lot of wave clear. They have an Ezreal, they have a Yumi, so it's going to be really hard to defend these turrets.
Yeah, for sure. Is now
Ooh.
Solar Flare on Ezreal here. Going to just keep them away from the turret here. Just give them a little bit more time to just continually just barrel it downwards. They've already claimed the Infernal Drake. Ocean Soul is the soul of this map. And man, we're looking at 13 minutes into this game, 7.5 thousand gold ahead.
Yeah, it's looking rough. It's looking real rough. I think all 3 of your front towers are down. We're gonna have to slow the game down a little bit if you're looking at Wolfpack. I mean Caldera. They're not trying to do anything too aggressive, but they're just getting caught out with lesser members on that side of the map, and it's costing them.
Yeah, it's really tough to try to respond to this as now Zakatara's in some trouble now.
Ooh.
Oh, Coach Buck, I don't know if he's taking the turret there. He's gonna go down. Zakatara's gonna be the one picking up that kill and even a shutdown as well. So they pick up a kill in response, but now here comes the rest of the blue team here looking for Gauntling, trying his best in order to dash away, but you can't get quite away from this Ari. Neither can you get away from the Draven. Old Loki Dosi picks up another one. Is Cool trying to pick up the kill on the Phoenix main here with that Emperor's Divide, but still not going to be good. Doing it. Bardo support did use that Lost Chapter here, and Lost Genetics is on better genetics. It's just underneath the turret here. Bardo support in some trouble. Gonna have to take some damage in order to get that turret aggro on top of them, but that's gonna be the Solar Flare picking up the kill there. But there's going to be a return kill from the turret going over to Bardo support.
Yeah, this is looking grim. I keep saying, but trying to get those return kills is actually helping them out a little bit. Not as much as they want him to, but it's better than nothing at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're behind and even if you've died so much, right, killing your opponent is worth more than your opponent killing you. So
Exactly.
getting those 1-for-1s it seems like it's bad, but it'll help you get back into this game. They do have some avenues, right? They do have those objective bounties up, and they're on these outer turrets, which are easier to grab. The problem is the line of scrimmage has been moved kind of all the way into the red team base right now, especially with how aggressive Shining Light has been playing around these tier 2 turrets.
Yeah, they've been grouping up and kind of collapsing, sieging. They know that the enemy team can't contest these sieges because they just don't have the damage as of yet. And I mean, we see full mythics on the side of the White Knights. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty intense when it comes to these skirmishes coming up.
Oh my.
Oh,
Okay,
speaking of which,
Zakutara gets the over the wall. Zakutara's in some trouble here. His better genetics goes forward, throws the barrel as well. A whole bunch of damage, explosive cast, but it's gonna go into the showstopper here. So he might be able to turn this around if he plays it smart. He's getting some damage from that Leandri's Torment and pulls in for the facebreaker, but dies to the barrel roll. So incredibly close, but better genetics picks up the kill there.
yeah, it's gonna have to be very, very careful in those 1v1s. He can't actually contest anyone, even the opposing top laner, which he shut down early on. But the
Yeah.
problem is they made that lane swap and made it work, and now he's back in the game. So, oof.
Yeah. It's just real tough at this point one more time as Loki Dosi actually might be in some trouble here if they look for the Drowsy, but Phoenix May is going to do that Hex Flash over the wall. Once again, Hex Flash MVP.
Yeah, Hex Flash definitely doing the Lord's work here as, like you said, the line of scrimmage is pushed very far, but this also means that they have a little bit more coordination with movement, with rotations on the side of Wolfpack, so they could look for a 5v1. They see someone splitting alone, they could just, from their base turrets, rotate over, try to get the kill. I mean, they might have to sacrifice another turret or two, but it's going to be something at least, and they're slowly dwindling out. And next dragon is in a minute. I don't know if they can actually contest this one with the lead that the White Knights have gotten. They have to focus all of their damage onto Draven. He's got 3 items completed. It's going to be incredibly difficult to navigate the team fight if you don't take him down first.
Hey, Wookie, I got to ask you a question. Do you see what Trundle's building?
I do now.
Can you explain the build path for me here? I don't think I've seen this before.
I've never seen this before either. I think at least he gets a lot of 30 ability haste. That's pretty good for a Trundle, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I've never seen that. I've seen people build a bunch of long swords. I've never seen 3 Kindle gems.
I'm not sure about that one, but hey, doesn't have to really worry about armor, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Is Better Genetics actually in some trouble here underneath the lane? Explosive cast can be thrown out. Shelly was popped in the bot lane there and gets the charge off, and Ari is escorting it there. Zenith played onto the Azir here. Lost Chapter comes out, but it's not going to save them from Loki. Dosi is now, they're going to go through. They're going to be Drowsy, put to sleep, and now here comes the rest of the team here. Looking for the kill into Loki Dosi. He's taking incredibly low here, but he's doing a good job cutting around as best he can. Cannot get on top of Godlink this time. Triple kill for the Draven, as now Zakutara coming in, last member standing. That's going to be the showstopper coming in, but not going to be able to do it this time as the FF comes out. Interesting. Not sure you're supposed to do that on stream, but we'll talk to the captains in preparation for the next year. I know the game was, everyone knows the game was over, but it's just, whatever.
But,
it's fine.
It was like you said, the line of scrimmage. They just were disrespecting it from the start, and I feel like yes, they could have come back, but they just didn't have enough funneling of resources to try to do that. So unfortunately, they take the loss for that one.
Yeah, for sure. But we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be in picks and bans of game number 2 of Shining Light White Knights versus Wolf Pack Caldera. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. Thank you for being patient. We are now here in picks and bans of game number 2 of Shining Light White Knights versus Wolfpack Caldera. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, Shining Light White Knights took an incredibly dominant game number 1, and now they're back here to either finish off this game or Wolfpack Caldera is going to bring us to a game number 3. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by Wookie Monster here, and we're already pretty deep into picks and bans as the first bans have already gone through and look pretty similar to the bans that we saw before, besides the Trundle ban here. So we'll probably see a whole lot of the same here as Gragas is going to be the first pick for Wolfpack Caldera here.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting is they didn't actually first pick Bard, which was not banned this draft. Bardo support still being available there. Not sure if they are gonna pick the one trick ponies Bard after all. I mean, I guess they have other plans. They did pick away the Gragas this time, so I do like that adaptation. They're not gonna let that one slip on by once again. But on the other side, they're gonna take the Udyr and the Yuumi.
Yeah, I think once again, I think that Yuumi, once they hit the mid game, if they're able to have as much as a roaming support as they'd like, Yuumi attaching to Udyr is insanely powerful. But I think what they should do, honestly, is they should pick an AD carry that can sit by themselves in the bot lane and allow Yuumi to roam around with Udyr, because that just sounds like the dumbest thing on the planet.
Yeah, and that's why we kind of seen a lot of Caitlyn being played. She can, sit there, clear waves, got a lot of like Sivir as well as another good pairing. So they actually take away the Sivir this time, and I like that. Pair it with the Renata, you got a team there. Twitch does a little bit of the same thing, but is a little bit less picked than Caitlyn is. But they were the ones that banned it, so they weren't expecting them to pick away the Sivir maybe, but this is a good first round of the draft so far. I think we already kind of see what White Knights want to adapt to, what kind of things they want to do differently. As yes, they had a really demanding or they had a really good game 1 on their hands, and now they want to kind of change things up, make sure it's not the same, and just continue the continue the rampage. But on the other side, I think there's some hope for the Wolfpack Calderas. They taken away the Gragas. They took away a good Yuumi pairing, which is Sivir, and then they take Renata Glass, which honestly, if you're having someone just head on into you like Udyr does, I think Renata does well into that, especially with the empowered auto attack. With that stun, will proc every time the hostile takeover is popped onto them.
Yeah, I mean, this is really looking like a pretty good thing. I mean, I did want to note really quickly before we continue onwards. I talked briefly about Yuumi and Udyr being disgusting, but consider also that Twitch turns invisible and brings Yuumi with him. So that's an
Yes.
invisible cat rat combo that can just lost chapter plus spray and pray at the end of that. I mean, it's so incredibly powerful. And you're right, Renata Glass is really good against Udyr, and consequently, I think Yuumi and Twitch as well. I mean, that just if Yuumi pops or if Twitch pops Rat-a-tat-tat and then gets hit by the hostile takeover, that's a whole lot of damage across the enemy team. But that's a real spicy pick right there. We got the rework Syndra.
Yeah, that's it's really good to see it. I haven't seen too much of it being played recently in my solo queue games, but definitely good changes coming out. Now she kind of has much more of I guess a linear, more snowbally type of passive where you basically have to be landing those skill shots 2 times in a row. You land the Q, you land the W or the QE, that will get you a stack of her passive. So it's definitely, I think the change is there instead of just I hit this level, I gain an upgrade. But this new Syndra I think is gonna bode well for them, as they have a lot of engage on the other side already.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she does work very similarly to that of a of like a Kha'Zix or a I guess it's Kha'Zix and Victor are the two big I'm gonna upgrade my abilities type champions, and it's gonna be interesting to see because her breakpoints are at I believe start at 40, and then goes 60, 80,
Yep.
100, and then 120. And at 120, she just gets 15% total AP. So
Yeah.
it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. Syndra hasn't been getting the most amount of success in solo queue. Her win rate is below 50% and has been like pretty low for like the past few days of the past few like week of the patch. So she hasn't been getting the most amount of success, but her numbers are starting to eke a little bit more forward. So more people are starting to get used to how this new Syndra is going to be played. But it should be interesting to see that. However, we got some more picks to talk about here. Silas and Camille for Wolfpack Caldera. What do you think about that, Wookie Monster?
Yeah, Silas Camille definitely being played in pro play. We've seen a lot of Silas being like one of those champions where like, oh, you get ahead, you basically win the game at that point. I think that's a really good pairing, especially with Camille, especially this melee top side that they have. I kind of like that. It differs from the basically the top side that last game where it was like the what was it the Azir mid, the Lilia, and the set. I think that this very skirmish heavy top side will, because I mean that's where they shined the most. I'd say in the last game was basically the top side. They were getting leads through Zakutara, and kind of escalating that a little bit until they the other team lane swapped. So this might bode well for them in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, it's Camille and Silas, like you said, in a whole lot of pro play, and it also pairs really well with a lot of the other strong initiation tools that they've drafted as well. Right, really liking a lot of this very aggressive play, and I think they have a lot of good ultimates to choose from for Silas here, right? Between Gwen, between Twitch, and Yumi as well, but I don't think he'll be able to grab Yumi anytime soon. But
Yeah.
if he does, I think that Yumi's already dead, so I don't even know. But still,
Yeah.
this looks like a very, very good lane to put Silas into. It looks like it's going into the mid lane against the Syndra. I'll have to take a look at what that matchup looks like, because remember, this is a pretty different Syndra. It's not like a complete rework. It's more like a mini rework.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
For sure. And I mean, taking the Camille into the Gwen here, I'm interested to see how that plays out, because we saw last game that Better Genetics was struggling on the Gragas, and now it's going to be the Gwen that he's taken charge of, and that's more of a later stage of the game, character that wants to try to get to the item spikes, get ahead of this Camille, who is also going to be split pushing, possibly with the Trinity Force, possibly with the Divine Sunder, depends on what they want to go. But I'm definitely interested to see that matchup again, because I think, even though our focus was a lot towards the bot side of the map that game, I think we should hopefully see a little bit more, good trades, good map rotations, good awareness of where the enemy junglers act from the top side.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the pathing changes now that we have the Udyr as well, right? Udyr just a little bit better at those full clears than Trundle is. And I think this might actually be like my first time casting a game with the new Udyr.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people have like shied away from picking it or not felt super comfortable on it. This might be my first game casting the new Udyr. So I'm excited to see how Udyr is going to play, because I haven't seen a whole lot of it. So I'm excited to see all the changes, all the really cool like animations and stuff. It's going to be really, really cool. And Law Coach Mike was playing really, really well on the Trundle before, so I'm excited to see how he's going to perform on the Udyr.
Yeah, it's kind of like setting the pace, right? Udyr definitely has the edge up in the early game, right? He runs at you, stuns you. He does basically, whatever he did before and some. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Maybe we see some of the same invades. So maybe hoping that Wolfpack Caldera like kind of expect this from Lowell Coach Mike, and make sure that you have good tracking on where Gonlink is. Where Lowell Coach Mike is, so that Gonlink can safely farm on the Gragas and make those playmaking tasks that we've seen in the previous game, just on another person, right? So, looking forward to that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting here for sure. I mean, I think I've already talked about a lot of the things that I'm super excited about. I'm excited about the prospect of Law Coach Mike running around with Yumi attached to him. I'm excited
Yeah.
about the Twitch Yumi combo. I'm excited to see the new Syndra, the new Udyr. Like, there's a lot to be excited about with Shining Light White Knights, especially after that previous game where they were insanely coordinated, really well communicated between each other, and like the mechanics was really on point. And I think they made like very few mistakes that could truly be capitalized by Wolfpack Caldera.
Yeah, they had a commanding presence in the objective department, right? They took the first two dragons. They took all of the outer turrets on the enemy side. There was just no contest from the enemy about having those objective timers, objective wards, all the coverage that you needed. It was very it was struggle. It was a struggle for Wolfpack Caldera, but hopefully they
Yeah.
bring it back. I mean, they are on blue side. They do have a plethora of different champions available to them, so hopefully they utilize them well for this game.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I'm gonna pass the question off to you. Who are you favoring coming into this game number 2 here? Which kind of team comp do you like? Which team do you think is gonna take this one right here?
So I honestly have to give it to the team fight here for Wolfpack Caldera. I mean, I
Okay.
know they kind of struggled with that during the last game, but I feel like they have a much better comp this time around, right? It wants to be skirmish heavy. It wants to do a lot of damage in the later stages of the game, right? So, and I mean, especially having that Camille, once she scales up, it's going to be hard to contest her in the side lane. Depending on, because they have two scalers in the top side, they have Gwen and Camille. So whichever one of those gets ahead, it's going to be hard for the team to react to it. They have to bring multiple members. That's when the game is getting kind of like, okay, we need to start focusing on getting these shutdowns and things like that. I think Wolfpack Caldera have a little bit more easier time to work with that because they have such a very good 4v5 or 4v4 with the Gragas, Silas, Sivir, and Renata. And like I said, I feel like the Renata Glass ultimate hostile takedown is going to be really detrimental to the enemy team during these fights.
Yeah, for sure. But with that, we are going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be on the rift of game number 2 of Shining Light White Knights versus Wolfpack Caldera. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by Wookie Monster, and here we are on the Rift of game number 2, Shining Light White Knights versus Wolfpack Caldera. We have a side swap here, so the Wolfpack is going to be on the blue side. Shining Light White Knights is on the red. We had a bit of a lane invade into the red side here. Oh, it looks like it's keep going here. They're still moving in.
Do they even know? They don't know at all.
I think they do know. I think a skill shot was caught out by
Okay.
Phoenix Main earlier.
Well, they have a really deep ward all the way on the other side of the map. Is spotted out, and yeah, they're gonna know when Gonlink will hit those wolves as he starts a red here.
Yeah, for sure. Is now I do love Paxac is sporting my favorite Sivir skin, which is the Cafe Cuties. And I
Oh
like
yeah.
to imagine that Bardo support playing Renata Glask is like went into the cafe for the first time and Sivir's there, like serving the tea, and she's just like, please don't look at me. Just like I didn't think I
For
would see
sure.
any of my coworkers here. This is just a side gig, I swear.
Yeah, true. Speaking of skins, though, yeah, I think Cool has a really nice skin. I love playing that on the Silas. And speaking of Silas, we haven't really touched too much on that, but I think that matchup is really going to be like who can roam first. And
Hmm.
Silas, traditionally hasn't really been good up against these ranged mid laners, and one that is especially not a lane bully like Syndra, right? Syndra, pops a Q every few seconds and it's hard to kind of keep up. But Silas does have the maneuverability to get past the E, the scatter the weak, try to get out of the orbs, range and things like that. So it's gonna be kind of a skill matchup here. Looks like, I think in the bottom side of the map, it looks like Wolfpack actually have the push this time around. We saw last game they did not, so it's an interesting thing to notice. Oh, Godlink here.
Yeah, Godlink is coming in here. Ginger, number 2 Ginger's going to be knocked into the air. The combo is too good. Trying to flash somewhere in order to try to get around, maybe kiting around these minions as best they can in order to get a 1-for-1. Not going to be able to do it this time as Godlink on the Gragas is going to be the one picking up the kill there.
Yeah, good positioning from Godlink to make sure that that kill was secured. And I feel like the flash from Cool was expended, but I think it matters. That could have been a very good turnaround if given a little bit more time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, number 2 Ginger probably also isn't feeling good about that flash either. I mean,
Yeah.
Syndra is a very immobile champion, so if she pushes too far up, this Godlink is probably just going to come back, right? Syndra just teleported back to lane.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on the Silas, but thankfully the junglers are nowhere to be found. It does look like Coach Mike stopped his back right there. Might want some vision there, but we go over to the bot side of the map. Things have been pretty calm up there. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we have a double stun combo up in the
Ooh,
top lane. Insanely well coordinated there. Gonna be able to pick up a kill again for the blue team here. 2 kills up this early on, and one on the Gragas, one on the Camille.
wow. So this is a really good start from Wolfpack Caldera.
Yeah.
They're definitely taking this game a little bit more differently than the last one. As
Yeah, Loki Dosi
lot of
actually
trade.
getting a decent chunk of damage on a Paxac here. Might actually be able to get the kill if that DOT keeps ticking here. It's down to the top lane. Better Genetics has teleported back to lane and looking for Zakutara is going to be able to find that kill. There's Coach Mike is coming in with that big Anivia Storm coming through. Last bit of damage. Tries to use that smite in order to heal, get through, but not going to be able to survive this time. Double kill for Better Genetics.
Wow, I don't know. I think I'm the king of caster curses at this point. I said they were doing really good, and then they just trade a bunch of kills back. But good rotations from the junglers in both of these fights. Oh,
Yeah, as
wait.
Better Genetics once again having some trouble here, but Udyr right there for the support, tanking up the turret as well. Better Genetics gets the kill as Zakutara had teleported back to lane.
Wow, that's a huge loss of CS and experience for
Yeah.
Zakutara. Yeesh. I mean, you definitely don't want to be, the leg up in this matchup is the one who kind of dominates the lane, right? As I said in draft. So, yeah, that Gwen is feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, and usually I say that there's nothing worse in League of Legends than dying returning somewhere, not getting any farm, and then dying again. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened to Zakutara there. You already hit the nail on the head that they're going to lose a lot of experience, a lot of time in this lane, a lot of gold as well, in addition to dying twice, right? Like they've given over 2 kills and now they have to get back to lane. And luckily for them, like the wave crashed in the middle. They didn't lose too many underneath the turret, but you know, there are few things worse than dying without getting any gold in between your 2 deaths.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's gonna come down to Gondling kind of helping them out, right? I think he's kind of venturing towards the top lane here. Oh, wait.
Yeah, has stolen
Ooh.
the ultimate from number 2 Ginger there, but it doesn't look like he's going to be within range for Cool anytime soon, unless he's looking to turret dive. Udyr is in the area. That's going to do the turret dive underneath here. Going to try to stun them up as best they can. Not going to be able to do it this time. Cool is able to get away, but it looks like Udyr is looking for the kill right now. Here comes the Anivia wall right here. Let's see if he's able to get close enough, but it's just not close. Cool is able to get away with all.
Yeah. Yeah, good, you know, kind of patience coming out from Pool. I think it was definitely like, do I have enough orbs from the Syndra ult that he took to kind of finish the kill? And I don't think he did. Syndra did pop a potion, so he had to kind of wait a little bit, but he managed to get that kill cleanly.
Yeah, for sure. Is now we're taking stock of where we're at about 7 minutes in. We're looking at 1.6 thousand gold lead for the red team right here. And they're also up at least 1 kill as well. So we're looking pretty strong, and with this priority that they've gained in the mid and in the bot, it looks like they're going to start up this Drake right now.
Not without some resistance.
Ooh, yeah, number 2 Ginger is in a whole lot of trouble here. Godlink is going to be able to find that kill there. That's a pretty big pickup here, so they're going to have to be scared off the Drake at this point.
Yeah, not knowing where they are is definitely going to be detrimental. Oh.
Yeah, so
Looks like Loki Dosi, sorry, knew where they were at, even though they walked over that that scuttle crab vision area there.
Yeah, for sure. Is, you know, it's looking a little bit more even than we first thought. You know, sometimes the game numbers kind of lie to you. This game is still looking like anyone's game. I mean, it's not a whole lot to talk about now. I mean, 1.4K. It's a nice lead. It's a nice little safety net. But, you know, at this stage of the game, no one has really any sort of big completed items yet. And even in the top lane, excuse me, I always forget the name of this item. Leeching Leer. The Leeching Leer is...
Yep.
Yeah, it's debatably one of the worst mythic components to buy. So, you know, it's really not a whole lot to write out home about in that top lane there. It's really until that that Rift Maker is finished that Gwen is really going to pop off. But here comes Zakutara onto Gwen here. Going to throw out the Hextech ultimatum. The mist is not really going to save you against 2 melee people here. As now Cool's looking for a little bit more, throwing out the thread work, trying to get the damage. Zakutara taking incredible blow. Going to have to run away here. Rest of the team coming through, looking for now Coach Mike. Dash forward, get the stun, not going to be able to land it. It's coming for the sneak from the side there. Gets the grapple onto Gwen and the 300 gold shutdown to boot. Number 2 Ginger has now showed up, is getting a bunch of orbs in their command, but they're going to have to back away now. 1-for-0 up at the top lane.
Yeah, good shutdown given to Cool there. Definitely needed that to get that shutdown, start securing this Rift Herald. Looks like they're actually going to do that. That is a huge turn, but we do have the bot side of both teams coming up to help them.
Yeah, Yuumi is up here. They just need to be careful. That's a whole lot of burst damage on the number 2 Ginger here. They're taking incredibly low. Forced to back off of this Rift Herald here. Loki Doki not able to get as close as they'd like, so I think they're just going to shove in this mid wave and just going to get some damage onto the mid turret as the rest of the 5 are on this Rift Herald here.
Yeah, I think that was a great turnaround coming out from Wolfpack Caldera. They knew, like, hey, they're coming. They're coming. We got to turn on them, and managed to pick off that 1 kill and managed to pick up the Rift Herald. Very well done. But the gold lead is still in favor of the White Knights, so maybe until this Rift Herald is popped, we'll see how many plates are taken here.
Yeah, for sure. Is now, yeah, they're getting the Rift Herald here. They're going to get guaranteed 2, but they've got them nearly the whole team here. So yeah. I think they're going to get a lot more. But here comes Coach Mike Lost Chapter as well. Going to throw down that Anivia Storm and through them as well. But now look at these HP bars insanely low. Coach Mike still looking for a little bit more here as Loki Dosi on the outskirts waiting to finish them off. There he is. Coming out of invisibility is the Twitch. Now they're looking for Pardo. Support going to be slowed up here. There's going to be the Ram Stun. Going to use that handshake in order to give them some space, but he can't run away from an Udyr, let alone one with a Yuumi to boot. That's going to be 2 kills around. They're going to protect the mid lane turret. Only lose 3 plates and back away with 2 kills under their belt.
Yep, still the same gold lead as they had before, so really well done. Really recognizing that, hey, like once we take this, or try to start this dragon hate, we might have to turn on them. I mean, that's a couple of kills just waiting there in mid lane, and they managed to pick up most of them and maybe get this dragon. Might be stolen.
Yeah, really quick on the spell shield there from Paxak here. Going to take a whole bunch of damage, which is going to keep one person away from getting this dragon here, as Coach Mike still looking to try to secure this. Thing is over the wall, looking for the steal, gonna be able to get it. Gauntlet comes out huge, doesn't have that dash to go over the wall just yet, so Coach Mike doing his best to body block the dash over the wall in order for his team to secure the kill, but he might be able to get the revive. There it is. Now they have to fight Cool flashing into the pit here, trying to secure a kill for the Twitch here. Already taken so much damage, but they haven't been able to kill the Silas just quite yet, and there they finally go. Loki Dosi picks up the kill for themselves here, flashes away from the body slam, looking for Godlink here, taken incredibly low. That might be the damage that they need, but they need to be careful because another revive might come through here. Number 2, Ginger, taken incredibly low here. So that's going to be Loki Dosi picking up another kill, and now Paxak is in this fight and trying to get away from so many members. Loki Dosi taken incredibly low though, but the Boomerang Blade is going to be the one securing the kills. Better Genetics is going to dash forward, snap with those scissors and clean up the last kill. 4 for 4, I believe, at the end of the day.
Wow.
Whoa, what a bloodbath.
What a bloodbath. Everybody's just throwing abilities at each other, except for Zakutara, still in the top side of the map. And there's the teleport coming out from, looks like number 2, Ginger. Yep. And what a fight. Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of things used, a lot of resources used there, but ends up being a win for the White Knights, as they just had better genetics there, and Zakutara managing to not only pick up 1 plate, but it is what it is. Didn't have teleport. I think the teleport was on up for better genetics there in that fight, so definitely good for him to pick it up. Loki Dosi also gets ahead from that fight, now 4-1.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing to pull away from that team fight there. It was pretty hectic, but Gragas is pulling away with 5-2-3, and Twitch is pulling away with 4-1-3. So these are some pretty fed members on both teams here, both sporting some pretty big gold numbers as well, right? This is going to be insanely powerful come mid game, or when these teams start to just meet up more for these fights right here as they continue to do so.
Yeah, definitely think that the lead that Gondalink has gotten for himself is very substantial. It's going to do a lot when it comes to the mid games, like you said. But yeah, you still got to be careful of Loki Dosi here.
Yeah, and better genetics he was coming through, but here comes Loki Dosi from invisibility here. That's what I was talking about with that hostile takeover. Bardo support can only go so far here. Not going to be able to get that, as that's a double kill for the Twitch. And meanwhile, on the top lane, a 1-2 punch onto Syndra is going to take them down there, as now the red team has control of this mid lane here.
Yeah, meanwhile, we just have a Silas in the bottom side cleaning up that turret as well. Hasn't gotten a lot of damage on it, but it looks like they're going to attempt to take this mid lane turret. It should go down momentarily. There it is.
Yep. I believe that is first turret as well, so that's an additional amount of gold into Shining Light White Knight's pockets here. 27.4 thousand gold. There's 2.4 thousand in the lead. It's looking like a real nice number.
Specifically the Twitch too, right? That's where you want to funnel all this gold, because that's going to be the team fight game changer right there. Especially if you have all 5 of your members in these fights, creating space just for the Twitch. I think that's really good.
Do you think we'll see any AP coming from Twitch this game?
I don't think so. Looks like he's going for the standard Kraken Slayer, Blade of the Rune King. Might go the Rage Blade. I think you have your AP bases covered, especially with the Syndra.
Right.
That's and the Gwen. I think that's enough AP. You don't need any more than that.
Right. So we're not going to see like a Nashor's Tooth or anything out of this Twitch.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's really needed. I think what they need to do is focus on, trying to get as much damage spread as possible. Gwen is going to be on the front line with this AP damage. Syndra is going to be bursting people. So the best thing you could do is just, have a good damage spread. I think the AD, the Rage Blade build certainly does so much damage. Just as much damage as the AP build does.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Ooh.
better genetics. Now might be in some trouble here. Zakutara has to play on the outside of this little mist here as they're looking in for more damage. Gonna get the slow here. The HP is real low. Hextech Ultimatum comes out. So Gwen's got nowhere to go, and not even the best healing in the world can save you from that. As meanwhile, in the mid lane here, 4-on-1 is gonna be able to find the kill on the Twitch.
Wow. Yeah, not sure if the Twitch was just out of position there, or what happened there, what the coordination was, but it's interesting to see that the top lane, even though Gwen is ahead, that Camille can just, has just a Divine Thunder, is able to take him out, but we still have more.
Yeah, that's a real good stun onto Bardo. Supporting him now might be in some trouble as he is taken down by that Syndra ultimate. Not even his zombie form can save him this time, as now they're looking for Cool. He's inside the Anivia big slow zone, but it seems like they're choosing back and forth on who to actually go for here. Zakutara comes in, completely running the other direction here, as I don't think it matters what their target selection is. Lol Coach Mike can just run at them. He's got that Yuumi attached. That movement speed is so fast, and they haven't scared them off the Rift Herald. It has been secured by Gauntling. Here is now Dosi once again coming around looking for these kills here.
Yeah, so this is kind of where we're getting to the mid game here, right? And even though they have priority to get that Rift Herald, on the opposite end they have priority to get the Dragon, and plates are down. Rift Herald second one, not gonna do too much. Might take out this mid turret here, but looking for gold leads anywhere you can at this point is gonna be crucial, right? Because we're still pretty even on the gold count. I think that this is a much more even game than last one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 2,000 gold is, I think I used this analogy before. A nice safety net, but it's nothing to write home about. It's definitely going to give you a little bit of an edge in these team fights, but not significantly enough that it's like, oh, they're totally going to win this team fight because they're ahead in gold.
Right. Exactly. And now we see kind of a swappage of lanes here as number 2 Ginger going top. The Gwen against the Silas this time makes around a little bit more sense. They couldn't handle the Camille. I'm not sure if that was just, stat checks, but yeah, Cool taking a lot of damage. Holy moly.
Yeah, better genetics is popping Ghost. He's looking for the kill here, but the threads are just not landing here. So gonna have to pull away, dashes forward, throws out the threads one more time. Looking for the damage on the Cool, but he's just matching the damage and the healing here. I don't think they really have a good fight here. So here comes Yuumi and Udyr here on top of Cool. Gonna stun him underneath the turret here with better genetics. He's coming in for the damage. Gonna pass and do a good job of passing the turret aggro back and forth, but might have just re-entered just a little too soon. Gonna pick up that turret in the bot lane.
Yep, the Yuumi savior right there. He's just carrying Yuumi to save other teammates, right? At this point, it's really funny to see. And you mentioned this earlier, like Udyr Yuumi, such a vile combo. Like you cannot do anything. You can't run the same pace. You can't flash to safety. You can't do anything when there's just a Yuumi and an Udyr charging at you, right? And I guess he's just getting executed. I mean. Fair enough.
That's the ARAM strat right there. It's in the top lane. X-Tech Ultimatum is coming down on the Coach Mike, but it's a 3v1. It's not really gonna. Zakutara goes down.
Yeah, so Udyr and Yuumi actually funneling gold. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Someone call season 3. We want our Gragas back.
Yeah.
What the heck? Gragas has been building. I feel like Gragas has been building tank for so long that this is the first time I've seen like a full combo Gragas just kill someone in a very long time.
Yeah, same. But yeah, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by that great Gragas play. I feel like the Yuumi Udyr delivery system is working out in their favor. Look at him. He's just going wherever he wants. He's like Mundo.
Yeah, And it's funny because they're popping movement speed. They're trying to get away from an Udyr here. As hostile takeover comes across, but it's not going to be able to scale them off this time. There's a TP coming in from Camille, but they have to stop this Udyr right here. Look at how much he's healing too. Paxac trying to run away, but taking incredibly low. But Genetics is going to be the one picking up that kill now. As now 3 members of the blue team trying to stop this 3-man combo here. Here comes number 2 Ginger coming through to the wall, but can't find the stun onto anyone just yet. They have a ward to get to cast them out here. They're now looking for Cool, who does have this Udyr ultimate here. That's going to be the Syndra ultimate coming across, going to be able to pick up the kill onto Camille there. Cool now trapped in this 3v1, going to be able to take down. Double kill for the Syndra now. Gonlink is going to be the next target here as Law Coach Mike. He does not even care that there's a turret there. He's just barreling through, looking for it. That last bit of damage, not going to be able to find the slow he needs. They're just going to pick up this turret and back away after picking up 3 kills in the bot lane.
Yeah, it was kind of a really spread fight from Wolfpack Caldera. They had the mans, like the amount of people there equal, but just Udyr stat checking them with this Yuumi right on top of them is so extremely hard at this point of the game because they don't have a Leandries, they don't have anti-tank items yet, and he's already on his Sunfire Aegis, a Frozen Heart, and now 10 stacks of Mejai's, so it's definitely going to be really rough to take down the Udyr at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, man, it's just... Man, it's just so crazy because, like, I'm looking at the builds right now, and you might have seen it pop up in the chat. Yuumi has a Mejai Soul Stealer.
Yeah.
And it's 10 stacks on it right now. And, like, and he's doing the Luden's Echo build as well. The Luden's Echo build is insanely powerful on Yuumi, and a lot of people are swearing by it right now. It's a lot better than the Moonstone Renewer. It just, like, your Q just ends up doing so much damage, and you end up having the same philosophy as, like, a Mage Syndra or a Mage Seraphine as opposed to, like, a support Seraphine, where you just stack up so much AP that, like, oh, your heals just end up doing the same amount if you had, like, a plus healing percentage item.
Right, exactly. I mean, what's more better than just doing damage, right?
Yeah.
Like, if the more damage you
both?
do, why not? Why not both, right? So makes a lot of
I'm
sense.
a healer, but
but now they're taking Baron. I mean, this is great macro play. I think that they know that they're on the other side of the map, just taking Dragon, and yeah, this is the free Baron, no contest. Gonna be charging down these turrets. And yes, I do think that Wolfpack Caldera are still in this. I feel like they just have to funnel more resources into getting Sivir the items to handle this Udyr. Because the worst thing Udyr wants is a strong front line that can tank all of his damage and put him in his place, and then have just a Syndra in the back line doing so much damage. But the problem is, nobody's really ahead on the side of Wolfpack Caldera. They have to start grouping up, start team fighting, and maybe let Camille split push a little bit, but it's going to be really hard. I mean, 2 items already on the Gwen. There's no way you're matching this Gwen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you already kind of said one of the problems here with Wolfpack here is you said, like, the one thing that that Udyr hates is having a front line that can really handle a lot of his antics here, and there really is no front line for their team here. I mean, Sylas has a decent chunk of armor, a little bit of HP, but that's really all she wrote about it. I mean, Zakutara isn't really building straight health items or even in straight defensive items. They're building I can assume a Death's Dance after building a Celestial Divine Sunder here is better genetics.
Ooh.
Goes down here, might be able to actually find something. That burst damage is already done. Low Couch Mug is in some trouble here, taken incredibly low, but the Yuumi is there with them. Exhaust comes down onto them, trying to turn it around. Loki Dosi has coming around, trying to flank them. Look at this damage. Holy moly. Forced to flash away over the wall. The Yuumi Q is insane. And now here comes the chase one more time. Looking for more, trying to find it. There's the slow over the wall, trying to get the dot as well. Splash Smite comes down, going to be able to secure that kill. Double kill for the Udyr, and look at this. Bottom half of the map. You are fighting us over there. We are taking your bottom lane. Look at this inhibitor disappearing before our eyes.
Yeah, and that's only because number 2 Ginger was actually able to match the Sylas through the Zonias. That's how much damage Syndra is doing right now, and we obviously didn't see what happened in the bottom side of the map, but that is opening up the base entirely. It's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, they've already done such a good job. They've got all 5 members of the red team in here. Handshake on the lull, Coach Mike. They're looking for a re-engage here. Good stun. Follow through with Syndra as well. Bardo support taking incredibly low here as well. Coach Mike also taking pretty low here. Dash onto Gwen here. Going to take them down. They've taken down the other Nexus turret as well. And now they have to run for their lives. Zakutara is going to be able to find number 2 Ginger here and finish off that kill as Loki Dosi has to flash away. Is getting that spray and pray damage through. Going to be able to get that through. Zakutara has to get that shutdown in order to get that healing, but not going to be able to get it this time. Loki Dosi goes invisible one more time. Is now escorting the minions back to the Nexus turrets while Coach Mike distracts them for just a little bit longer. They're trying to find this one kill here. That's it's so incredibly close. Dodges the hostile takeover, but now they have to 2v3. They separate, but a triple kill for the Gragas.
Okay, so base defense successful actually for Wolfpack Caldera. You know, losing a lot, but actually getting a lot of return kills and making the scoreboard a little bit more even. But yeah, just the amount of pressure that the White Knights have is incredible. I mean, Udyr was just in that base with like full health for like at least 3 minutes.
Yeah. It was an insanely good push. They were really close. I mentioned that they took down the other Nexus turret. That's not true. They only took down one of the Nexus turrets.
Yeah.
So it's still looking to be. They still have some line of defense between them and the Nexus here, but you know they have to be very careful. I mean, we're taking a look at the gold now. You know, before we were talking about 2,000 gold lead being a nice safety net, but nothing to write home about. Now we're looking at 7,000 gold separating these two teams, and that's a lead. That's something you need to respect and be careful of.
Yeah, and I do feel like, you know, the White Knights did kind of blunder a little bit. I mean, we saw that Coach Mike went in without the help of Loki Dosi, and I don't know if he was just kind of pressuring off the wave or what happened, or just like kind of a last-ditch effort just to try to get some stuns out. But Loki Dosi was trying to clear the wave, and then that's where the triple kill came in. So that does give a little bit of leeway, but they're certainly not. It's not done yet, right? We still have, like you said, that 7k gold lead that they have to fight through, and it's an uphill battle from here. We do see that Zakutar actually was putting out a lot of damage and a lot of good utility here on the Camille, so there's a little bit of hope.
Yeah. Gonlink getting spotted out by number 2 Ginger here. Oh my god, so much damage on the part of support there. Ooh.
Yeah. 3-item Gwen. Yeesh.
Yeah. Turns out it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're getting to the point where it's going to be really hard to deal with this team. Now with some additional... I don't think we're going to see a Dragon Soul this game, but just having those additional resistances... Like Earthstrike is such a snowbally dragon that, like, if you get it early and really start stacking it, it's insanely powerful. And to get additional stats on defensive stats on a team that's already ahead, it's going to be a lot harder to kill this team now.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. And I feel like this Udyr, man, they still haven't figured out the way to kind of navigate, except for when they're in the base. And number 2 Ginger?
Yeah, that's going to be a Hextech ultimatum here. Number 2 Ginger not going to be able to survive this time. Not going to be able to get any sort of sneaky pushes on the bot lane, as Zakutara is going to be the one picking up the kill there.
But yeah, before that, I was about to say this next Baron is coming up. So I feel like now that they picked off the Syndra, they might have a chance to kind of steal it away with the Gragas being as far ahead as he is. But it doesn't even look like White Knights want to go for this.
Yeah, for sure. Is now it's gonna be the Chilling Smite. I think this might be the opening that they have found in order to get back into this game here. Better Genetics caught out the same time as his teammates are, but they've committed so many to this. They're trying to stop the 1-3-1, but look at this. Look at what's happening in the base right now. Zakutar is being taken incredibly low, and now Loki Dosi looking to get the damage on the sides, but can't quite finish them off. They have to back quickly and start this defense now. It's 3v4. It doesn't look like the red team wants anything to do with it.
So 1-for-1 overall. Both top laners are now dead, but TP coming in from number 2 Ginger. They might look to just straight away take this Baron, or at least catch them off guard, bait them into coming and looking at it, and then, you know, you just get stunned in the face and maybe get some kills.
Yeah, they're now on the Baron here, and I think this is a good call. They do take this pretty quickly here between the Twitch and the Udyr, but now they showed up, and yeah, this is the turn right here, but oh my god, Gonlink just immediately deletes Twitch from the team fight here, and this is the go button for the rest of the team here as Cool takes out number 2 Ginger here, and now Udyr is falling down. Now Yumi's got
Oh
nowhere to
my.
go. And that was such a huge win fight as Better Genetics is standing on top of a ward here, looking for the kill on the God. Cool here, looking for a little bit of damage. The thread work is coming out, but that's the Hextech ultimatum here. They're going to have to 1v3, but the burst damage from Godlink is way too strong. Holy moly, that's
Wow.
an ace for the blue team.
Yeah, unexpected. Now, the inhibitor did get taken down in the middle of that, so now they're 2 inhibitors down, so they have to go defend the base. They can't even contest this Baron right now as death timers are about to expire. Although it does look like Gonlink wants to try to go for maybe some ward cover or cleanage or something like that, but yeah, that was it was good fight back from the Wolfpack Caldera. They now have at least a little bit more leeway, breathing room, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
as that was avoided. But yeah, good burst damage from Gonlink. Oh my god, literally deleted the Twitch out of that fight.
Yeah, for sure is now. You have to take. I mean, before we were talking about the 7,000 gold lead being such a big lead, but now, man,
Only
I
5.
just think, yeah, Wolfpack is doing a very good job of playing from behind. I think they kind of read the situation of this 1-3-1 real well and quickly collapsed wherever they saw a member by themselves. And I think Law
Yeah.
Coach Mike and Loki Dosi just got a little too overzealous with their ability to take the Baron there, and then got caught out in a 3v5. And now, let's see if they're able to win this fight here, because that's already an ultimate being spent by Gwen.
Yeah, this might be the Nayram that we've wanted. Another dragon coming up in about a minute, so not the most important dragon as it is the third for both teams, but I feel like you know, it looks like the White Knights wants to do something similar to last time where they just let Wolfpack get the dragon while they get Baron, right? That might be
Yeah.
the play, but let's
I
see
think
if the Wolfpack adapt to that.
I think they're sneaking it. I don't know if they know that it's happening. They just spotted out Gwen, so I think they know at least that the team
Oh
is
my
over on this
gosh.
area here, but I don't think they can truly answer it. And the best part about this is now with this Baron down, they could march over to the Dragon Pit right now, but I think that they're
They
making
want to end this.
probably a smarter decision. They're rotating as 5 into the top lane here.
Yeah, they definitely want to get this third inhibitor because that's going to open up the base so much more and allow for so many more options for ending this game here. And
Yeah.
they have to respond. They can't even go for Dragon. They have to respond with all 5 members for Wolfpack as well.
Yeah, and I think that this is a really commanding spot. Luckily for Wolfpack here, Sivir is really good at destroying waves, even ones that
Yeah.
are baroned up. She's really, really good for that purpose here. So this is going to be really Paxac's time to shine right here. Look at how fast these enemy
Yep.
minions are melting to Sivir's bouncing blade here.
Yeah, so this is where like the wave states of each of these lanes it comes into play here because now the inhibitors are still down and these super minions are coming in now. There's the teleport from Gwen. So now they're doing the 4-1, which I think is a little bit more optimal when it comes to the situation with the Sivir, like you were saying.
Yeah. It's going to be a little hard because we've seen how much the blue team likes to abuse these splits right here, but it looks like they're trying to answer the 4-man push up on the top side here. No one has come to answer the Gwen just yet. Silas and Camille are making their way down there. Hostile takeover is doing some damage onto Coach Mike here, but they have to be careful because it is
the Gwen.
3v2 up there now. Zakatara looking for better genetics as they dash forward underneath the turret. The mist is going to keep them alive for just a little bit longer. The Hextech ultimatum comes down. Now they're looking for the kill on the Zakatara, but they can't quite get the sweet spot on those abilities. So their cool is actually going to be the one picking up the kill there. As now Godlink diving onto the backside, looking for the burst damage onto Loki Dosi here. Lost Chapter comes out, but doesn't land the root just yet as Loki Dosi still looking for the kill onto the turret. Going to be able to find it there as they pick up that inhibitor turret, but now Coach Mike might be in the wrong spot here as they're still looking for a little bit more. Godlink throwing out the barrel roll there, going to get a big shield, trying to get away. So incredibly close. Not going to be able to get that inhibitor, but still a really good push. One for nothing at the end of the day, but they are able to get an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, now they can rotate towards that dragon that we were saying, or take it easy because we still have better genetics, not alive, doesn't have the TP available. This might turn into a 5v4 if Wolfpack decide to actually contest this.
Yeah, and I think they just do, right? I mean, they know that Better Genetics is down. They have all 5 members, and with some of the limited vision that they have, they know that there's only well now they know that there's 2 people
Oh.
there, but oh my god.
Oh no. Wrong
Yeah, I
place,
just
wrong time to walk, I
yeah.
guess.
Uh-oh, yeah, number 2 Ginger yeah, just kind of eliminated there. Jesus, it was real quick. Huh.
Didn't have Zonias, so couldn't actually
Yeah.
use the Zonias in the previous hostile takeover to dodge that out. So, you know, realizing this, hey, that was a great pick. Gondling has been doing these great picks the entire game, so at least that is some source of damage and some source of blow up they can rely on to make sure that they have some objective clearance here.
Yeah. And this build is really good because there are just a lot of squishy targets that do just get insta-gibbed by that full combo there. So, and not a lot of them are sporting a whole lot of magic resistance either. I think
Yep.
the only person with built magic resistance right now is Udyr with the Force of Nature, and that's about it. There are no Merc Treads, there are no Wit's End, there's really nothing in terms of the magic resist. Not even Gwen has magic resist, you know. It's now going to be the time as Gondling might be in some trouble here. Good stun, get some damage to start at the boot. Please flash forward. Look at how aggressive this Twitch is being right now. It's actually been stunned up. The handshake is good, and the Hextech Ultimatum is going to be the thing behind the kill there. Now Phoenix Main is in some trouble. Is going to be going down. Zakatara looking for the grappling hook, but doesn't land onto a wall, but they're still looking to chase them down. Better Genetics is going to find the kill there, as it's a 2-for-2, trading top and support for support and AD carry. And now they're once again trying to push down these inhibitors.
All right, let's see if they can get one inhibitor down. Might be able to get it. Yeah, there it is. That all they need,
just have to be
though.
careful. Godlink doesn't have that explosive cast back just yet, but still does a whole lot of explosive damage here. So they do have to be careful. I think they're just going to be able to grab that one inhibitor and just run for their lives here.
Yeah, Udyr without the cat doesn't mean too much in this state of the game, so I have to save those Magi stacks for later as soon as the cat comes back up.
Yeah, now we've reached the point where even though it looks like the red team is in the lead in terms of gold, I think we've reached the point where both these teams are rather tied in power here.
Yeah.
There's not really like a super late game carry on either team. Both Twitch and Caitlyn both kind of excel in the mid game, where they just kind of like really, really outdamage their opponent, and they don't really have a whole lot of defensive items in order to deal with their damage. But now we've reached the point where that is kind of not the case anymore. These folks, if they do survive, it's because they do have the defensive items to deal with this damage here. This isn't a Dark Harvest Eclipse Sivir that goes better the later this goes on.
And I mean, we do see the Maul of Mount Mortius there for Sivir. I mean, we're starting to see what looks like to be maybe Last Whisper into Lord Dominic's for both of those carries.
Yep.
So, yep, there's one on Sivir already.
Yep.
So, yeah, that is a lot of CS. 400 CS, 37 minutes in the game. Sivir has definitely caught up.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we might be getting a team fight here, as the blue team might have been caught out by that Scatter of the Week there. Take a look at Better Genetics here in the bot lane doing a split push. We have to keep our eyes on that, because that might be their avenue to victory here as they continue that. It's also going to mean that's where their teleport is, but it looks like the blue team might be starting up the Baron here. All right, here we go. Handshake onto Coach Mike here. Hostile takeover as well. They're looking for the introduction. There it's going to be. That's the Rat-a-tat-tat onto Zakutara here, taken incredibly low. That spell shield is not going to protect you from all the true damage and physical damage that Twitch is doing. It's Better Genetics to take down towards the tri-brush on the top side there, as Twitch continues to run rampant through this enemy team. They're ignoring the enemy team. They said, we don't care anymore. Just run right for the base. Loki Dosi doing Gromp, though. Let's get Gromp.
Getting a level.
Yeah. I'm leveling up. I'm leveling up. Big gold, big gold, big gold.
Big gold. Here's Gongling, though.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't do quite enough damage to Coach Mike to kill him, though. Oh.
Yeah. I think he's more of looking for a 100-0 onto Loki Dosis, because he'd been able to do that before. It's now Gongling looking for a little bit more. There's the explosive cast, going to do a huge chunk of damage on Loki Dosi here, but won't do it again. Coach Mike on top of both Cool and Gongling, not giving them the breathing room that they need. Is Loki Dosi wailing on the Nexus here. He's going to try to keep them off as best he can, but he finally goes down. The Nexus going to follow as well, as Shining Light White Knights takes this series 2-0.
Very, very close game, though. I mean, that was It could have been either teams winning. One team fight would have decided that, but they played to their strengths and kind of made sure that they were having lowell Coach Mike in the in the front line. Number two Ginger and Loki Dosi behind with the Yumi on top of the Twitch, making sure that they have enough coverage of that Camille because Zakutara got onto them, but it was just not enough.
Yeah, for sure. And I really have to commend excuse me, Wolfpack Caldera here because they played really well from behind. There were a
Yeah,
lot of times that we saw that we were talking about like, hey, this gold lead, it's pretty big. This means that, Caldera is gonna have to really, find some big openings in the armor of Shining Light here in order to find some victories. And they did that real well kind of towards the end of the game when Shining Light decided to do a 1-3-1 push. They were just like immediately onto every single solo laner and then regrouping in the mid lane in order to deal with the pushes three. Now they still lost a whole lot from that push, but they were able to get nearly a full ace and pick up a couple shutdowns as well and be able to turn that around and narrow the gold lead from like 7,000 to like 4,000. I'm fairly certain.
yeah, and Gauntlet actually had the most damage in the
Yeah.
game, so those health bars were evaporating whenever he got onto them. But the later the game went, it was harder and harder to pick up those kills unless they were just walking alone. And the later the game goes on, the more 5v5 team fights we expect. So it was harder for Gauntlet to actually get to the backline.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this was such a well played game, and even though the gold lead at the end is a 6,000 difference between the two, it was a lot more even than that.
For
And
sure.
what an exciting game as well! Like there was so well, two teams so well communicating with each other, so good, such good communication, such good mechanics. If you are a low tier player, just taking an eye about how these teams are coordinating with each other and how their mechanics are done, this is a real good match to take a look at and watch that. But from everyone here at Style Esports, we would like to thank you for joining us tonight. There can only be one winner. It's going to be GG's going over to Shining Light White Knights. And thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, press that follow button. We got League of Legends action for you to watch nearly every single day. And if you're feeling generous, press that subscribe button as well. It helps us keep the lights on here at Style Esports. But from myself, the entire live broadcast crew, Wookie Monster, my co-caster for this evening, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next match. Bye bye.